Good evening and welcome to For the Greater Good.
The greater good.
Our four strangers have been brought together by circumstance or fate, depending on how you believe. Our troublesome bard, Howard, has recovered from his ordeal with the eyes behind kindness. Everyone found themselves able to rest peacefully that evening, only to awaken the following morning finding creatures slowly fleeing those same eyes, which then followed those creatures to you. Without hesitation, the party obliterated the eyes one by one, narrowly avoiding the implosion caused by its death. Ariel and Damien both wished to return to Mahat in hopes of restocking their healing potions and anything useful for the journey. It appears that the journey ahead may have some unknown dangers and unknown species as well. The four of you are now settled mid-afternoon into your little safe haven, the Silverfish Inn. You have claimed the corner table as your own, as you discuss what you'll be going to do next, and if you'll be going on the journey north. The tavern has cleared out by now. The lunch rush has left, which leaves all of you alone wrapping up the very beautiful dancing and musical number. What would you guys like to do?
I'll eat quick, because I wasn't eating during the lunch rush of, 2 people? Was that right?
Pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Busy.
Yeah, it was super crazy busy.
Well, it's not near the docks, so it's not nearly as busy as one that would be closer to the water, so.
Did they happen to toss her any coin?
She got a few coppers.
Yeah, I did get a few coppers.
I couldn't remember.
Does that put us all at the table then together? As she sits down to eat.
Now it does, if everybody's still there,
Yes.
I would think.
Yeah,
I don't
I
think
would
any
put
of us
everyone
left.
there. I don't know where you would like to sit, Fertile, exactly. If you're going to sit next to Red or Mihara, it is up to you.
Toughest decision of the campaign so far.
Right?
Right?
Seating arrangements,
Where to
guys.
sit the table?
Oh, sure. No one wants to sit next to the.
Or Elena
Sad guy.
pulls up a chair just to make it
Yeah, I'll
not
just sit,
awkward.
right
No.
here, right next to...
Oh,
So-
I've
this
seen her
harsh.
perform before, so I don't need to see it. I mean, wow. It was rather arbitrary. I rolled a dice.
It was just sitting down and finishing food and discussing what you would like to do in the port city.
Well, I think perhaps it would be best if we could maybe get to know each other a bit. I know we've kind of hung around for a day or so now, but I don't think we really know each other. I might, it might be different for Fertile and or Elena here, but I guess for myself, I am Mihara, as you know. And from the looks of it, like a couple of your others, I've also been trained in a monastery. Although not that of the Dark Mother, but that of the Pale Mother. I guess it's in her service that I decide to wear the mask that I do.
Wow, you're really forthcoming. You just laid out your entire life in front of complete strangers. I mean, wow.
I mean, to be fair, what can anyone use with that information? Nothing bad can be used with that information.
Not when we're
Find it
among
best
friends.
If we can perhaps trust each other at least slightly, and being open is the first step.
I mean, some of that information can be used against him. I mean, what if someone started making fun of the Pale Mother to his face? I mean, obviously he's not going to take that very well.
No.
Not that I'm going to say anything about the Pale Mother. Don't take it that way. And he just kind of takes his mug and like starts sipping his obvious clear crystal spring water.
Yes, that clean spring
Certainly,
water
I know
you were
no one
given.
would read anything untoward the Pale Mother.
I have nothing against her.
Don't think anyone here would have anything untoward. Hopefully. I mean,
Hopefully not.
No,
Mm-mm.
don't really put too much stock in it, but can appreciate the devotion.
I mean, she's the... Because the Pale Mother's the sister to the Dark Mother that me and Tilly follow.
yeah.
Okay.
Yep. They're all sisters, but
Oh, they're
they
all
each
sisters.
have, two closest sisters to them. The ones they've got along with, as you guys know, siblings have
Yep.
some closer, some distant bonds. So it's kind of like that kind of thing. They're like really good, close siblings compared to they might have a distance to another one.
Okay. Yeah, there won't be...
Well, sorry, did I cut you off?
No, I was gonna... I don't know where I was gonna go with that, and then my kid started coughing in the other room.
Well,
He seems fine. It's more of that fake cough.
I'm not quite as impressive as all that. Just a druid from the forest.
Forest, okay.
The forest.
Excuse me, yes.
For
I would know where that is.
rest forest.
It's a little west of here. Yeah, not much. I'm just, looking to maybe get away for a while. Yep, and he starts taking.
Sorry, I was writing this down. Like,
No worries.
Red, thank you for also being.
I'm kind of letting the pauses happen because I know some notes is letting some stuff kind of like circulate and seeing what you want
And it's
to
just kind
question.
of awkward anyway.
I
so-
mean,
Hey,
Right.
Mihara.
Well, that way, if any of you are like, "Hey, I don't really believe you," it gives you a chance to make that decision too.
yeah.
Insight check, no.
I was gonna say
Yeah,
my eyes
well, right.
narrow slightly as I look at him because I
At
don't
me?
know if I appreciate running away. That being a reason for things, but
Did I miss why he was? Did he say?
just so slightly. No, he didn't.
No, he didn't.
Say.
He just
okay.
said that he, had, I think, taken some time or like chose to take some time away.
Or take some time
and,
away.
and
Okay.
I interpreted it as
Oh, okay.
maybe
I was like, I
running away.
didn't think I heard that, but I got it.
No.
I got
I'm
it.
just speaking my mind. That was my inner monologue.
Sorry, I got kid aggro all of a sudden.
No.
Oh, it's not gone.
Yeah. Well, and then your character too would. That's how you would perceive it. So that works out perfectly.
Yeah.
Mihara, when you mentioned to Red about being so forthcoming, go ahead. Could I have you make a perception check?
Well, I like it. I like it.
Yeah.
You know what? No, yeah, we're doing it this way. Since you still have access to this, and we'll let those also in the know, and I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Continue.
And you go. All right.
Not often the player calls for the role. But
Right.
Hey, I like it. If there's something even like, hey, it's in your backstory, it's important to you, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
So, what about you two? You seem kind of chummy.
I've known Billy here for quite some time, and we trained in the same temple together. And
Chummy might be an understatement. We've known each other for a while and
Yes.
pretty well.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, so are you two like together, or
Oh.
am I reading too far into that? I'm sorry. That mind wandered slightly,
No.
and perhaps I filled in too many blanks.
That's fine. I have a husband and a family. Orlean is very attractive and all, but which I understand where you'd get that, but no, I'm taken.
My face is almost as red as my hair. Just staring down at the table.
And
She did say one day you'd find out why she has the name she has.
Yep, with that in mind. He's just, nope.
Okay with you,
Today is not that day, is it?
Sorry,
and your
continue.
husband's okay with you being gone.
Yes. As head of the family, it's my duty to go.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Color me intrigued.
So far for me, I'm just kind of following the temple, and I haven't, unlike Tilly, I haven't found anyone like that yet, or.
Well, I feel like we've all done a very good job of keeping everything very vague.
I mean,
I mean, Tilly
what else do
actually
you
provided some information that some people could use for sure, but
want us to say? I mean,
I guess I was no better, so understandable. I mean, we've only known each other maybe a day, so.
if you want to do more, I'm sure we could order alcohol, and not tonight because I really don't want to get quite drunk right now. But, and if you want to do
saying
more,
we drink and trade information.
I was meaning people tend to talk a little bit more in a different environment.
I wouldn't disagree. That's often ways that we loosen up new recruits anyway, is, you pass around a strong beer from time to time, and eventually you learn people's stories.
Or you just are nice and get comfortable with them, but that works too, I guess.
Yeah, we've never done that.
I was just meaning a homey atmosphere, but, yeah. I am still all over the place with her accent.
I
Figured
like
it out.
the Bernadette you got going on at the moment.
Oh, because she's, yeah. Maybe I'll keep it.
Still early.
I'm really not trying to hide anything, but so if anyone has questions, I can certainly answer them. And I pointedly look at Red at the moment.
Nope, I'm good. Thank you.
What's your mother's
Face
maiden name?
Scarlet.
I'm kidding, Red. Just don't worry about it. It's
How much
knee-jerk reaction, if you will.
should
Are
we
all
make his
monks
face
like
more
this?
red? Or, because I think I have something that might do it.
This could be fun. By all means.
So Red's stammering there, I'll turn and kind of face him a little bit and yes, and wait for an opportunity to be able to talk there. So you can go ahead, Red, sorry.
I don't know what to say. I feel a bit cornered. Are all monks like this? Because you guys are really intimidating, and I just met you.
So
And I feel like you're drilling into my life, and is this what drinking alcohol does? Because if that's the case, I'm glad I just have my water. And he just starts chugging it.
I will scoot and just place my hand gently on him and oh no, we're not drilling into anything. If you want any questions to ask us, you can. And I'm gonna be as charming as possible on it.
Roll a persuasion check.
I was wondering what this was gonna be.
And then I'm gonna have him roll a charisma saving throw against you trying to persuade him to calm down. I think that would probably be the way it is, because he's emotional.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Should I take that as that wasn't very great on your side, or?
I was a grand total of 8.
I got 9, so.
Oh
You
no!
much better.
Down. But you managed to calm him down. You put your arm around him, and something just, she feels sincere. This is someone actually giving you support. It's been a while. Good friendship.
It's a very light touch.
I'm sorry. It's just been a very stressful past couple days. Yeah.
Or Alina, if the boy doesn't want to talk, you really should not force him.
It was just if he wanted to ask us questions, not us to him. There we go. That's the wording.
Why do you want me to know about you so much?
Oh, if you're curious, I'm saying it's okay. That's all.
As you guys are all sitting there,
and then I'll back away a little bit. Sorry.
A girl runs in, a little girl. She looks to be probably 10, 11-ish. And she seems very, very frantic. And she comes in, she's like, please come help. The house is on fire. It's burning. And my mom and the woman who helps her every week is there's trapped. Can you help us? Can you please come help?
I immediately sit up and get like my child in need mojo going, and I just kind of like, come on everyone, let's go. I just kneel down next to her and say, tell us where to go, child.
It's a few buildings over. It's not too far. This is the closest place that I could come to. No one was home. When you kneel down in front of her, you can see she's got a light blue dress on, and it's got a couple small rips and some dark smears that you assume to be charcoal or soot across. She doesn't seem hurt or anything. She seems to be fine. But she's like, come on, I can show you where they are. I know where they are.
Great. Run, child. We'll follow.
Yep.
And she takes off.
Red lets out a long sigh of relief as they all start getting up. And then as he like scoots out of the boot, he kind of does so like a little shaken and quickly joins them.
Then
I would like to point out I would hesitate before leaving the booth and definitely bringing up the rear.
Okay. I need to put everybody on here. There you go. Ooh, why did your picture change?
There it is.
There it is. The assistant knows a little better than I do, apparently. So she takes you to the building and she points you to the front door. And once you're inside, you can hear fire in the distance, and she tells you it's at the back of the house. They were in the back room, and they ran, but got trapped in a separate one. And you guys are all standing at the front door.
So we should make our way to the back?
That sounds right. Was there any place to grab water quickly on the way here?
There was no public fountain. The only place that you could have asked to grab water from a barrel out of the tavern.
Okay.
Is this like plumage of smoke and fire? Obviously on fire, like, or
You can smell the smoke. This seems you only went about 4 houses down, so it's not too far away. So this started. It hasn't fully consumed the house. It hasn't had time to. But you definitely, as soon as you walk in, you are hit with the smoke. As you move farther back, perception checks and things that involve your senses will be at disadvantage.
I'm sure if we before we would have left, if I would have doused myself as much as possible with water.
Yeah.
So I'm probably wet at this point, but to help a little bit as we go into a place with fire. That was probably poor way of me putting that one then, I guess. But yeah.
So this is the first time I've done this. We're gonna try it. We're going to do a skill challenge with this. Going into a burning building. So I've always wanted to do one, and this seemed like a good standard setup.
100% one of the best things about 4th edition.
What? Skill challenge?
Physical challenge.
Yeah, it's kind of cool. I've been liking it. Reading it at least. So I'm like, we'll try it.
The encounter builders that they had. Anyway.
So I'm going to have you move your movement speed each time. When you move your movement speed, you can move less if you would like to, if you don't want to move the full 30 feet, which I believe is what everyone has.
Didn't we level up? Or
you should all be level 2.
Or we are level 2, okay. I don't think monks get theirs yet, then.
Stats imported.
If you want to do it on D&D Beyond quick, I can re-import your characters onto the tokens, and they'll have your updated stats.
Oh, I am at 40 feet. That's one of the reasons I was wondering is what level we were. My speed is higher.
Okay. It did, yeah. Oh, monk.
Yeah.
Dope. I'm excited, though. This is going to be fun.
Import Mihara.
You say that until we get to level 5. And we all have Stunning Strike.
Right. But if you guys play OP characters, I can quickly go OP and make this a super epic.
That's fair, too.
I mean, if you guys go hard, I can do it, too. I'm excited for that.
Right,
Challenge
Mihara,
accepted.
Your token should now show as level 2.
It does. Cool. Thank you.
And then it crashed on me, so I gotta restart. The screen just goes
so we're going to
black
be moving
on me.
our movement every round as we progress, right? We can move up to our movement every round?
Correct. So you can move up to your movement every round. And then once you do, I will kind of pause, tell you what you see, what's going on. If you need to make a check for something as part of the skill checks, that way where I don't have someone running in or someone falling behind. It kind of gives everyone their own pace.
Sure.
All right, you guys should all be re-imported.
Perfect. So,
did you roll your hit die as well?
Oh, I'm muted.
Everyone rolled their hit die for level 2 as well?
Yeah, I rolled mine.
Okay.
My sheet was up to date, so this is correct here.
Gotcha. Perfect.
So as you enter this hallway, it is definitely smoky, but no more than saying you may have left the pizza in the oven too long.
Okay, so it's not too bad yet.
It's not too bad yet. So you can all move up to up to your movement speed. There we go. That's what I was looking for.
So, I want to turn to the little girl and say, you said your mother and her friend were in the back?
Yes, they were in the back room, straight back, and she points down through here. I don't have right behind Oralina and Red, that wall they're up against. She points behind that wall, the very back room, and they ran to the other side of the house, and I ran out.
Okay. I need you to listen to me very carefully. I need you to activate your town's fire brigade as quickly as possible, and we will get your mother and her friend out.
Yeah, I'll run. It's a couple blocks farther, but I'll get there and I'll come back.
Okay.
And she takes off in the same direction where you guys had came, but she keeps running past the Silverfish Inn a little bit farther, closer to the dock.
Perfect. Now we don't have to worry about her.
Yes.
Yes.
And maybe someone will be able to fight the fire, because I don't think we can.
No, I don't think we can either.
I'll turn to everyone else. What do you think? Can we just run in and see if we can find them? Or does someone want to go around the back? Look for a window? I feel like they would go out the window if they needed to.
I feel in the event
Unless there
of
isn't a
fire, we'll
window?
stick together.
Yeah, that's true.
So
More of us getting lost here.
these are like townhouses, so they're very close together. So there's going to be no windows on the far side of the house, and there's going to only be like a foot or two gap between and then the next house.
Just enough for some light, but that's about it.
Yeah, so there is very minimal windows throughout the entire structure. This was a very clustered town.
I guess I'll just... Did you say to stay together then? Or what did we...
That's my recommendation. We don't want any of us to get separated in here.
Well, at the very least, we should go and try to see if we can find them if they're in the back.
All right,
Yep.
we move as one then. Is that the plan?
I think so.
And we'll all move in?
Yeah.
And make our way to the back.
So I think you'll all just be limited by red speed then at 30.
Yep.
I shouldn't say limited.
Yep.
That's still good average distance.
Wow.
Because we're not going to leave him behind, certainly. I mean, he's quite nervous enough as it is. So. You think this is funny, don't you?
So you move a little bit farther in. You are still at the same kind of level of smoke. Not choking yet. Would you like to move forward another few feet?
Yes.
Yep, I want to keep going until we round the corner at the very least.
Okay.
And maybe start like yelling out hello. And are you in the back? Kind of thing. Trying to get to hear them, get them to respond.
So Oralina and Red, as you make it up to the corner of the building and you yell out, roll a perception check for me. And this does not count towards the overall.
Ooh.
All right, that's what it is.
Okay, so you both can hear towards the back, you can see there's a wall down here. You can hear yelling from that area. And you can hear it's very, very faint. We're in here.
I think I heard him in the back over there. And I'll point towards that wall to let everybody else know. Whoever.
I will lead the charge if no one else is going to.
Can I rush forward to this cart right here and possibly start rummaging around, see if I can find anything that might be wet?
Yes, you certainly can.
See if there might be anything.
It's all out in the open. So without even having to look, there is a bucket of water that looks like someone was bringing it back and was going to use it probably right before the fire started. As you are looking for the bucket, you hear a very loud crack coming from that back area. You don't see anything, but you heard something crack and thud and hit the ground.
If you guys were gonna do some cool monk shit, now would be the time.
All right, if we can leave you behind, and we'll move forward. I'll go full 40 on the next.
Yeah, wherever.
That puts me there.
Like that. Yeah.
I don't
Look at all that true.
Perfect. So, you get up to that wall, and those gaps, those are all doors. So there is a closed door. What would you like to do?
You said there was a closed door. Where is that at?
This is a closed door right here.
Okay.
This is a closed door right here.
Okay, so this whole little spot is closed off.
Yep.
All right.
So what's happening is the fire is being contained in these spots, but it's they're like small sections. So it's not spreading as far because of the doors being closed.
Okay.
There we go. Words.
So whenever I can go next, I'm gonna try and open the door. And I'll if it's a metal knob or something, I'll gingerly touch it. But if it's just a latch, I'll fling it open.
So roll a perception check with advantage since you are examining the doorknob before you touch it.
Cool.
You can just see Fertile up there like a cat. Pop, 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 pop.
Yep, pretty much. You know, like how he does it in Home Alone after he gets him burnt the first time?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, yeah, you look at it, it's definitely a metal latch, like a bar latch, that is locked from the outside.
Okay, I'll just... Locked from the outside?
Yeah.
I know, that's what I was curious about.
Like,
Locked
someone
from
in?
the outside.
Oh, jeez. I don't know what we're getting into, but this door is locked from the outside, and I'll, wrap some, I don't know, extra cloth I have.
I've got a wet sleeve, and I'll wrap my sleeve up quick around my hand.
Yeah, come get this open.
And
But protect your hand.
I'll open it, because I'll take the long bits of my sleeve and in between my hand and the lock to grab it.
Okay. With using the cloth, and the metal being on that side, it's not too terribly hot and too terribly hard to move if you use the cloth. And you're both extremely dexterous, so I'm going to say that it's easy to move the bar. Did Mihara and Red move forward, or are they hanging back by the water cart?
I am not moving forward.
Sounds good.
I am going to slowly reach out and use the wall of stability because I can't breathe right now.
What?
Oh.
And if you look back, I have unlatched my mask and am in the process of opening my robe to get cooler.
I think me and Tilly are nowhere near being able to see that where we're at. So
No,
Well,
you are up
no.
the door.
I think I probably gestured to you to let you know about the lock thing.
yeah, because I think you and I are focused on getting these two out of the back here.
Yeah.
I would have looked back, not seeing Mihara doing cool monk shit, and see him having that small thing. I'm gonna take the bucket of water over towards him. Reach into my bag, pull out part of like my. I don't know, would that work as much? Oh, take out one of my blankets, rip it, and dunk it in the bucket, and then like wrap it around by his face to help with smoke inhalation.
Okay.
Do you accept this?
I don't think I can fight him off in my current state. And I would, instead of using it for smoke inhalation or anything like that, I would be pressing it against my face to cool down.
That's what I think. He's just freaking out because of the smoke. Give him that. Okay, you stay here. Be good. And I'll run back around the corner with any remaining speed to about there.
Perfect. So that took about just as much time as it did for them to lift the lock. Do you open the door?
Yes,
Yes.
most definitely.
As soon as it's unlocked. Yeah.
So as soon as it's unlocked and you open the door, I need both of you to make Constitution saving throws as smoke billows out of the doorway and you guys are right in front of it. And this will be the first part of the check.
19.
And I got a 12 there.
Sounds good. So, Orlina, you get the full brunt when it swings open, and all of the smoke hits you. It is not what you didn't expect. So you knew something was going to happen, and it was probably going to be smoke, but it still hits you hard, and you just barely make your save.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Well, I'm in front of you then, is what she was saying. So maybe that's not too bad for you.
Oh, maybe I'm okay.
Maybe.
So you will each gain a +1 to your next physical check that you have to make.
Okay.
Strength, dex, depending.
I will.
Out of curiosity, are these people still calling for help currently?
Yes, it's gotten pretty quiet. They haven't been yelling out very loud. It's been getting quiet pretty quickly. But you open the door and all the smoke comes out, and now you are standing in front of a very, very much on fire room.
I would immediately crouch and tell Orlina we must hurry. We're feeding the fire. We have to get them out.
Yes. Yes.
And I'd like to creep in, I guess.
Yeah, go in and
see if I can hear them and locate them.
You manage to creep in, and you can see. There's that for a second.
I would also follow her example and lower myself. Be a little bit like below the smoke as much as possible.
Right.
I'm just going to use one token to represent both of them.
Okay.
But you see two older women in the corner. One looks to be about mid-30s and one looks to be about 60 or so.
Whoa, two older women? I'm like in my 30s.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, come on, man.
They are human. They are. Well,
It's fine. I'm just teasing.
I am
older
also
than the
at
child
that
that asked for
area.
help.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, got
One
it.
of them is the mother of the child, hence the
Super ancient
30s
people.
area. We
Say,
are all at that
Magda,
area, so
you're about the
really,
same age
truly,
here.
Right.
I am the same. So, yeah. She has about a 10, 11-year-old daughter, and it lines up. Trying to make it
fair.
congruent in ways. Anyway, they're both over there. They both look very exhausted and weak as they have been trapped in a room with a lot of smoke for an extended period of time.
Orlina, you grab the mom. I'll get the old woman.
And
And I'll
will...
try and bodily pick her up
Yep.
and get her out.
Perfect. We will have both of you do an athletics check to lift them up.
Alright. I don't want to know what this one is, so I'm just gonna do a blind roll to you with my lovely athletic score.
Okay?
And then this is a +1, right? You said?
And you get a +1. Yep.
Alright, yeah, and then +1, and yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If this doesn't work, I got other ideas, so.
Jeez, this is close, man. Really close.
That doesn't tell if it was on the right side of close or not, though.
Right.
So as you lift them up, you seem to have given Orlina a little bit more confidence, and she managed to just barely lift up one of the ladies, and you come along and you kind of see her struggling, and you reach forward and lose your grip, and she falls down. It was very, very close, but there was one fail on that one. So, Orlina, you managed to pick up. Which one were you picking up? The 30 or 60-year-old?
30. I've got 30.
The 30-year-old. So the 60-year-old has kind of slumped back onto the floor as Fertile kind of tried to help you steady the other one.
I will, if Tilly doesn't go out at the same time, I will get her out of the fire and into that other little bit, move her a little bit away, and then go back to help.
Yeah, I just say, Orlina, just go, and I'll
Ooh, hello.
try again. I guess.
Okay, so Orlina, you can move half of your speed, so you can move 20 feet out of the fire
Okay.
from where the woman is. So, right about 1 square forward, I believe.
I think that's about as far as I'd be able to get her, about there.
Yeah, from there to there. That would, yep. And then Fertile, it'll take you another round, but while she is doing that, Red and Mihara, you are still at the entrance. What would you like to do?
How confident do you look right now, Red?
How confident do I look? You're
With
looking
everything
at
going on.
my head, bro. You have no idea how confident I look.
Okay.
Because I just did that, and with my remaining movement, as I did that, I looked very competent as I was handing you the wet piece of ripped blanket, but
You seemed relatively calm, let's say.
relatively.
Okay. Attach my mask, and I will move forward up next to him.
Oh boy.
Okay. Do you
I
wish to
cast
move any
inspiration
farther?
and didn't even know it.
Aw. Red, did
So I
you
guess
want to
moving
move?
past that corner, finally, what do I see?
Yes. So as you move out around the corner, you see Orlina pulling a very weak woman out of a burning back room.
Gotcha.
You don't see fertile roses, though.
Okay. I will use all of my movement and my action, and I will run up to Orlena to lend a hand. Or
Perfect.
where's Fertile?
She's in there. Here. Get her out of here. And I'll try to, like, pass her off to him. Get out, Tilly.
Okay. I will do my best to accept another person.
See, I don't know your state, so I'm just trying to keep things going, so.
So, besides the obvious now open flaming building, are we still hearing screams coming from somewhere other than there, or does that appear to be where the screams were coming from that we heard?
Those were the screams that you heard. You didn't hear any other screams throughout the area. Red, would you like to move anywhere?
Yeah, I'll move 30 feet up-ish.
Okay.
Should put me right about here. More. Looking over, is the person that they pulled out conscious?
Yes, but not doing very well. She has inhaled a lot of smoke. She's been coughing a lot. She's very weak. She is giving all of her weight to whoever will hold her. So Mihara, when she hands her over, just gives full weight, and it's like, support me.
How heavy is this woman? I know that's not something you're supposed to ask, but like.
Oh, well, let's see here. Let's roll some dice.
You never ask an NPC her weight.
Right?
We will do it this way. I mean, it'll technically be kind of skewed, but she's about 141 pounds.
Good. This is a struggle. Awesome.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, that's not that heavy.
When you got 8 strength, it kind of is.
Are his knees buckling?
What's your carrying capacity?
120 pounds.
Oh yeah, no, that's a lot.
Veins are popping.
Oof.
Yeah, and that doesn't include anything I currently have on me.
But as I come down, I'll yell out to the lady who's now leaning on Mihara. Anyone else? Was there anyone else?
So as you yell that out, she turns to you. She's like, my husband was sleeping, and she points back behind you. in the rooms behind you. Just kind of lifts her arm as much as she can to gesture in your direction. And that's about as far as she can get. And she just starts coughing again.
So when I look in her direction, what am I seeing? Just wall? Where do I see like the entrance to that room would be?
You are standing right next to a door. It is right in front of you. There's also a door down in between the other burning room and that side of the house. And you passed a door up at the top as well. So there are 3 doors, top, middle, and bottom.
I would have gone to where she pointed and gingerly touched the handle.
It doesn't feel very hot. It's warm, but not hot.
I guess with the action... What do the walls appear to be made out of?
They appear to be made out of wooden plaster. You are right up against them. It is very easy to see. It's a pretty old house. Most likely made out of recycled ship material. So the wood is...
And most likely hair.
That, yeah.
And
hair, mud.
blood.
Mm-hmm. And many unmentionable things soaked into that wood that we don't ask questions about.
Yep.
Don't bring a black plate to this house is what you're saying.
No, don't. It was a pirate ship, probably.
I guess with my action, because I've already moved, I would just kind of open the door.
So as you open the door, it is not locked. This one is not. The same thing happens where you open it and a plume of smoke just goes your direction. Fresh oxygen, it is just drawn towards you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, that's bad. 5.
Ooh. So...
What did I roll? I rolled a 2. Ugh.
That's rough.
Yeah, this smoke hits you, and it hits you hard. It kind of envelops all of you, and you feel like it is going to suffocate you just from the speed it is gushing out of this doorway. You take... Oh, wrong dice. Don't use that one. That's... Ooh, 4 points of smoke inhalation damage.
Wow.
And then you get -1 to your next check.
Rough.
As soon as I open that door and I take a full breath of that smoke, I immediately turn around and just start vomiting all over the floor from coughing so hard.
Definitely.
So that 5-foot square is difficult terrain.
Yummy.
That will be it for me.
With you emptying the contents of your stomach, Fertile Roses, you are inside the building. I would like you to make another athletics to see if you can move her out.
Sure, hopefully. Do I still get +1 or was it just the one time?
It was just the one time.
Okay.
Was my bit handing off the mother to Mihara?
No, that was kind of like his turn.
Okay.
Like you guys came together.
Okay, because as soon as I handed her off, I was gonna head back and go back in and help Tilly, but I wasn't sure where we were at on these, so.
And
Yeah,
any
if
look
you
of
wanna-
confidence you saw on Red's face is gone the moment he started up chucking.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say that it's been kind of going with Red and Nihara taking the turn together however they want, and then you and Fertile doing it. So definitely would be able to.
Okay.
Kind of divided it into 2 groups, male and female.
We kind of stuck
For the
that
evening.
direction, though. So.
I would say you guys can definitely do that. It would be, you could make it to her.
Cool. So I can roll again at advantage because she's helping
No,
me.
so you will add her modifier.
Oh, right. That's how we're doing it.
Which is 0, if I believe.
Yeah, that's 0, but 2 people holding on to a
Solid
woman, I was
bonus.
hoping it'd be a little bit easier.
Yes. It might have, but so she's with you now.
It's what I would have done
and you-
anyways, so.
Yep. So you both kind of take your turn at the same time. So you both, she's getting ready to lift her up, and then you run in, or like, here, I'm here to help, and then you both try.
And make things worse, do I?
And well, make things the same.
That's
Nothing
true.
changed. Nothing changed. Is there anything else you guys would like to do while you are in here?
I guess I'm more
mean,
worried about getting the 2 people out of the immediate fire and out of the building. These ones.
I'll just maybe turn to her and say, "Is there anyone else here?" And I'll ask Orlina, not this old lady who's probably gonna die.
Yeah, I was just about to say, with this next turn, as you tried to lift her, she is very limp. The smoke has definitely gotten to her over time.
Can I see the door? Or, like, can I see out the door? And is she 5 feet from where I'm at?
Yeah. You could see out the door. You could see a direct line to...
Is this an action or a bonus action? It's a bonus action. All right. Okay, let me I don't know how this is going to work if she's limp, because I don't know if you can be willing if you're unconscious. But I'm going to use my face step on her. I can move her instead of me.
Yes. Is that or is that you switch places with them?
No, with her, the one that she has currently is I can choose, I can touch one willing creature within 5 feet of me. They teleport instead to an unoccupied space of my choice that I can see within 30 feet. So I don't know how that works with her willingness on that one.
I think in the D&D world, it's different than real life. Unconsciousness does not always mean consent, but in this case...
She's not resisting it, technically? It's a terrible way to still put it, but...
Especially with an unconscious woman.
Yes, she was hoping for someone to save her and saw you guys came in before she blacked out. I don't think she would have been unwilling to save me.
So I will do that. So she'd teleport 30 feet as far as I can get. So about this square here, and it doesn't say it drops or anything. It would just as if I stepped away instead. I think it's, yeah. So it's sort of from where I'm at. So she would be a little bit further. I think she's right here.
Oh boy. I did something.
It gets her out of the heat and the smoke is what I'm hoping. So I can only do that once a day, so that was kind of...
Is that a new thing?
It's a racial ability for me.
Never mind then.
Cool.
Perfect.
Holy
Excellent. I'd like to take my movement and get out of there.
Perfect. You can. Orlina, you still have half your movement as well.
All right, I just gotta get me on there. It's out of the smoke. If we're both out, if I'm the last one out, I'm gonna try and close that door
Okay.
behind me.
It is pretty easy to close the door.
Not give it more oxygen to keep going.
Right. Good idea.
Stifle what you can while you can.
Right.
So as you guys make it out, I believe we're going to take our first little break right here.
Oh, yep.
Some of the littles go in here. I heard some doors open and close, so I think they're ready for bed. So
Perfect.
I think this would be a good pausing point. There are several shoutouts we would like to give tonight, starting with the amazing character art made by Bravaxxii. You can find them at fiverr.com/Bravaxxii. Next, we have our beautiful world map made by Pnosaur. You can also find them at fiverr.com/Pnosaur. Up next, we have our gorgeous animated maps. You can find them at patreon.com/Dynamic Dungeons. We also have several shoutouts for our background music that we use. So we would like to give many thanks to Bethesda, Obsidian Entertainment, CDProjektRed, and Owlcat Games for the use of their music. Lastly, for our virtual tabletop, we are using Foundry VDT. You can find them at foundryvtt.com. Over 5,000 years ago, life and time within the cosmos began to decay and unravel. Imminent destruction caused by the hatred, greed, sin, and power within mortals spread throughout every world. In life's greatest time of need, the 8 mothers descended from the heavens with their celestial hosts. They judged the souls of the living and chose only the purest to join them on their journey to salvation. They took those worthy with them, cupped within the mother's own hands. Those chosen from every world began their journey through the cosmos until they came to the mother's gift, the world of Lamel. Found on harmony between all of forms of life, the mothers ever watch over them from the heavens above. Lamel is divided into 4 continents, each protected by 2 of the mothers. As each of the 8 took their watch among the mortals, their chosen cathedrals influenced the Octush cities to form as safe havens to those dedicated to those mothers, and to any seeking refuge in their loving embrace. Each mother had the same request of the mortals and enforced it. Technological advancement was forbidden, as it had a direct link to the destruction of the old worlds, as well as dark magics that were seen to draw evil into this world. After the 8 issued their decrees over the first 1,000 years walking among the mortals, they ascended into the heavens once more to observe from afar. Together they created a divine shield around the world, hiding them from the darkness. They are always silently protecting, diligently watching, and striking those down who dare tempt to bring evil to the world. 1,000 years has passed since their ascent, 2,000 years after arriving on Lamel, and the mortals' lives move forward without the direct influence of the mothers. Everyone went their own ways, led their own lives, and eventually got farther and farther from being as pure as their ancestors. Younger generations began to veer from the decrees issued by the mothers and began dabbling in the forbidden arts. Darkness slowly began seeping through the divine shield created by these mortals' ignorance. With the fear that once again the evil would destroy their sanctuary, 2 of the mothers came down from their heavenly home to cast out those with ill intent. While the others repaired the damage the darkness wrought on the divine shield protecting the world, they called forth the sun and the moon to vanquish all of those tainted by evil with a single burst of purifying light. This was known as the regeneration and caused distrust among the mothers. The mothers' magic not only eliminated the darkness within their mortal souls, but also any of the younger generations of mortals of Lamel, who had gradually allowed darkness into their hearts. Over the next 3,000 years, the mothers appeared to have successfully kept darkness from the world with that regeneration, and Lamel remained in harmony. Oracles were appointed within each cathedral, serving as the word of the mothers, but most of the messages came back cryptic and often in odd languages only the oracles understand. The position of oracle is not a permanent position and has changed hands as one steps down, handing off their knowledge to a chosen successor. All had been quiet and peaceful for centuries, until almost 800 years ago the skies caught fire high above the continent of Porostine. Along with it, outsiders have slowly trickled in. Some resembled those that already populated Lamel, and there are those that were different. It is only within the last 150 years that this has came to light. And there are those that our new party has already met. Welcome to For the Greater Good. Welcome back. Our brave party of adventurers, although uncertain of who each one of them is, were all moved to go help a little girl who rushed in saying that her family home was on fire and her mom and her friend had been trapped. You have arrived at this burning building, not too far from the Silverfish Inn, and managed to pull the 2 women free, and Mihara and Red both found out there is one more, her husband, still trapped inside this house. We finished off on Orlina and Tilly's turn, so we will let Red and Mihara decide what they would like to do.
Can I just, as we came out, because I forgot, because she had asked if there was someone else, I will, like, cough, because I'm assuming we're kind of slightly smoke a bit, but I think there was one other, and then I'm done.
Perfect.
I'll just be on all fours, trying to breathe. And I kind of nod a little bit.
You made it out. Red managed to promptly get sick right in front of the middle door, and is now standing over it. And Mihara is supporting the mother of the child, the woman in her 30s.
I take a chance, and I pick up the woman and like over the threshold style, kind of like pick her up, So try to have one arm around my neck kind of thing. Sweep under her legs and then do my best with the weight that is now putting me pretty much at max to stumble towards the exit and towards the older woman.
I would like you to roll an athletics.
Oh good, I'm really good at those.
Mm-hmm. That seemed confident. You put your full concentration into this, and you kind of give yourself that little internal pep talk, and you, with a little bit of struggle, manage to lift her, and you are able to carry her. You move at half speed.
Yes. Now, technicality here. Being a monk, can I use my movement, my action, and step of the wind to try to get out of here quickly?
Yes, I would allow that.
Okay.
So
if that's half speed, then I could move 60 total feet.
yeah, would step of the wind though being in a with that?
I guess that would be if you allow that.
Well, I'm wondering. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Like, would that hinder because of your weight?
Or can I not use that because I'm carrying someone else? Questions.
I mean,
a DMG.
Informed decisions.
To weigh my part in, it does say you are expending a key point, so you are reaching down inside of yourself for that little extra. So it's not like you're just getting away with it. You are expending something to do something cool.
Right, and it says to take
Cool points.
disengage or dash as a bonus action. So there's no reason why you can't dash and carry something, right?
Yeah, it doesn't say anything about. I mean, anything you're carrying moves with you. I'm gonna make the call that it doesn't have anything that says up to 500 pounds or whatever. Yeah, I'm gonna say if you do it and you're holding on to her, she's in your possession. Yeah. We will treat her as respectfully as one of your carry-on bags.
So then I will and make it I guess there with her body. I can't actually drag her myself, but that's where I wind up. That's 60 feet.
Perfect.
Dang.
Awesome. So Red.
To be clear, I'd probably also step over the limp old woman as I do so, but I mean.
Yes, you would. I mean, she's not flailing, so it was pretty easy to step over her.
As soon as you round the corner, does your legs turn to jelly?
Probably.
Out of our
Out of sight.
line of sight. As far as me, I'm going to be down on all fours, like just looking up as Mihara starts carrying the woman. And as he looks up, his eyes have been watering. He's got two very distinct lines on his face where the tears have run through the soot that has now covered his face. And he reaches down to the bottom of his shirt to wipe off his mouth because there's an excess of liquid there as well from throwing up. So his face is just all smeared now. He's gonna take a moment and hold his breath and go into the building.
Okay.
So I'll probably step about 10 feet in and try and see if I can see anything while yelling out, "Hello!"
You see the back half of the house is engulfed in flames. The floor is on fire, the wall is on fire. Much fire.
What's out in front of me?
You see a small sitting room out in front of you with the only window, well, one of the only windows leading to the outside. And it's at the front of the house. There's 2 windows. Small dining table. Looks like someone might have came in for their lunch and they still haven't cleaned everything up.
I'm gonna try and move right up close to where the flames are. So that's 10, so 25 movement so far. Looking into the flames, while kind of like shielding my face from the intense heat and squatting down to try and get under some of the cloud line. What do I see in this room, if anything?
You can not see a ton. How about we roll? We'll do perception because you can't get close enough if you're not going through the flames to do an investigation. So perception.
1 second, just want to double check one thing.
And this one also goes towards.
Okay, that's not good. Okay, perception, you say?
Yeah.
15.
So what you can see, and you do see through the flames, are a couple of larger shapes. The way it is set up, you can tell that one of them is a bed. You can tell that one of them was once like a desk of some sort. But everything is on fire.
Does it look like anything was on the bed? Or can I not tell?
You couldn't quite get a good enough look to see if there was anything on the bed. There was bedding on the bed, and for sure pillows, but you couldn't tell if there was someone under the bedding or on the pillows. And then I believe that leaves a bonus action on your end.
A bonus action? Would I use an action for just looking around? Calling out?
Yeah, is the skill check.
Oh, okay. Bonus action. That's not a bonus action. Just out of curiosity, how tall is the ceiling?
The ceiling is about 6 feet tall.
Ooh, okay. I don't know. Good bonus. Not much, I don't think. Okay, I don't really have much for a bonus, so I'll let that be me.
Okay. So that brings us over to Orlina and Tilly. One of your rescued ladies has been transported out of your sight. You are sure she is safe in the hands of your friend Mikara. And there is one unconscious woman lying on the ground in the courtyard.
The really crooked one is with me.
Yes, the further one away is the one I teleported over that way. If you're able to help Red, Tilly, I think I could take her outside. You're stronger than me. To help Red.
Yes. I will rush over there. Oops.
Yeah, you could have some. Give me one too.
I think I could get here. Is that that's a door though, right?
There is a door. It is closed right there.
Then I... well, I think I can get here if I go through the open door. Right?
The one at the bottom is closed as well. They were all closed.
Well, Red opened this middle one, right?
Yeah, Red opened the middle one. So if you're going through the middle one, you could probably make it around that.
No, I'll just go with what I was originally thinking. And to heck with the consequences. So I'll move here next to the door and open it, but like not stand in front of it because I know there's going to be smoke and stuff coming out.
Yes, and with your experience from the last one, I would say you would do the same thing you did with wrapping a cloth around it and opening it up.
Yeah.
It is not, so it is easy to open. When you do, I need you to, both Red and Fertile Roses, to roll an acrobatics check for me. As when you open it and the gust of new oxygen enters right where the flame is, a small explosion happens over by where that desk was. And I say was. It is...
Oh dear.
Quick question. I had, was it disadvantage or a negative to my next roll?
You had a -1.
-1. Thank you.
Yes.
All right, dirty 20 on that one. Take that.
15.
Hey, not bad.
Hey.
Might survive.
So both of you kind of hear that small, faint sizzling before an explosion and are able to jump back, get out of the way before the small burst of flames goes outwards and then settles back down. You both made it.
Cool. That was probably my action to open the door, right?
Yeah. Yeah, open the door and then have that happen.
Okay. I still have, I'm pretty sure 10 feet of my monkey movement, so I will enter the room, crouching low again like before, and see if I can see anyone or anything.
So
where the explosion came from, because that was different. Nothing's been exploding before.
Yes.
Ow.
So the explosion is still the brightest point. So at this point in time, that's all you can really see is the explosion that happened right here.
Okay.
Next round, you'll be able to kind of get a better view after it dies down in the next 6 seconds. But yeah, definitely tell the explosion happened right there. And something large and furniture-like was there. Orlina, you are up with the other lady.
Yes, I used 15 of my movement, and then I'm gonna bend down, pick her up underneath her armpits, and just kind of drag her because I don't have much strength either. But I'm supporting her head with my forearms.
So roll in athletics to try to drag her.
Right.
Ooh.
Oh, I'll take that natural 20.
Yeah. You drag her half your speed, so 20 feet.
I used 15, so I'm probably only gonna get her 10, but... So I used 15 to even get to her. So I'm gonna... We'll get the, like,
Okay.
here-ish.
Yeah.
And then that's all I got, so...
Then for the roses, did you have a bonus action as well, or?
I feel like I should do something, but I don't really... Can I actually... Yes. Can I actually spend a key point in patient defense for a possible another explosion?
You definitely can do that.
Okay, that's what I do.
Perfect. So the explosion is very bright and very disruptive, and everyone could hear it. Both Mihara and Red, it is your turn.
All right, I would like to continue to action and movement out, and 40 feet will get me to the edge of the map.
Perfect. So when you get to the doorway at the edge of the map, you can hear in the distance bells ringing. It seems that she has made someone aware of something happening. So you can hear that there has been an alarm raised somewhere in the distance.
Good.
Would you like to do anything else with your turn? I mean, it gets you right up to the edge.
I think that'll be
assuming
okay.
you want to bring her out.
That's my hope.
Yeah, I was thinking that. So, if that is all, then Red. You're muted.
Oh, so sorry about that.
Okay.
So I would see Fertile right there.
Yeah, you saw her enter. As soon as she opened the door, there was a giant explosion, and you saw her come in directly after the explosion began to settle.
Probably getting up from the floor because it probably would have knocked me back a bit. Losing some of that breath, I'm gonna just kind of call out to her, "Get out!" And I'm going to book it across, but go the other way to that other door that I hadn't opened yet. Is it closed or open?
It is closed as well, but is also unlocked.
So I'm gonna pull that door open, and then with my movement, just step inside.
Okay, so you walk in, and it is a drastic change from the drama that's been happening. It's a kitchen that looks like nothing's happening behind it. There's a small little fire in the little fireplace. There's a couple of clean dishes and dirty dishes around.
How many books are there in this kitchen?
That is a good question. When you go in there, I will let you know.
Do I see any houseplants in this kitchen?
You see one houseplant off to the side. It's right on like the countertop up here by your cursor.
Okay, thank you. That's all my movement. Yeah, you know what? I'm getting out action. I'll run over there. Bonus action, pick up the plant, and then start heading towards the door.
Perfect.
So, oops. Let's see, that would have been 10. So 30 would get me to the door, and I don't even check, I just try and push that door open.
Nice. You push it open.
Perfect. Right out in front of Orlena.
Right in front of Orlena. You just...
Carrying a houseplant.
Just bam.
Perfect. So that'll bring us back to Fertile and Orlina.
Okay.
I'm just trying to get her like pulled out is what I'm doing, so I'll be using my movement doll for that.
So no
Sounds
more
good.
explosions or anything like that, correct?
There has not been another one.
Okay. I'm gonna tell you what I'd like to do, and you tell me if I can do that.
Okay.
I would like to back up 10 feet and leap onto the bed. I will use a key at my last key point if I have to increase my jump.
What is your jump?
So I
currently?
I think I can jump 15 feet with a 10 feet head start without doing anything.
Yeah, so you would. Well, I mean, if you use your 10-foot start from right where you are, you would run into the very edge of where the explosion was.
Yep.
And then jump.
And then I'd make it all the way onto the bed.
Yeah. But you'd have to start pretty much from where you are, because if you back up any farther, you're going to be too far from the bed, even with the 15 feet.
Okay.
Unless you did use the key point 2.
I'll save that. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll just run headlong into the fire and leap onto the bed. In a manner that would not squish a person if they were there. Kind of like if straddling them if I knew there was a person.
Okay, yeah, you kind of aim for the edges and not the center of the bed, kind of like
right,
a cat.
exactly. Right.
Makes sense.
I am cat.
You are cat.
Cats are pretty flammable, just saying.
I have a plan. Don't worry. Maybe worry a little bit, but
Famous
don't worry.
last words.
Right.
Perfect. So, as you run and you get up to the flame, I need you to make a Constitution saving throw as you jump through the open flames.
Awesome. I am monk. Okay, well.
Yeah, it happens as you're going through.
Okay. Yeah, I probably get singed a little bit here.
Yes. So, as you jump over the fire, you do manage to land on the bed. Not quite as you had hoped, but you're on the bed and definitely shaken as your clothes have been singed by the flames. And you take 5 points of fire damage as you leap over the open flames.
Is there a person in the bed?
Yes. Now, without a doubt, as you have hit the bed, there is a body of somebody in the bed.
Okay.
And it didn't take much to feel that. There was definitely a lump.
Yeah. Okay. I'm going to grab them and hopefully, using my feline agility, drag them out. So the feline agility doubles my movement speed until the end of my turn. Which, I mean, I suppose I could have popped it first, but I don't think it really matters. I don't know. You tell me.
It works now too. It'll help you all getting out of the fire. So, I mean, either way. So
that was my hope.
Yes. So as you move through again, need you to make another Constitution saving throw as you're now taking a limp body with you
This could
back
be
to the flames.
futile instead of fertile.
Is that your sister? Futile Roses?
Futile roses. How did you know?
So this time, you have already been burned. You kind of bear down, and as you're like, nope, I gotta get out of here, and you use your feline ability, and you manage to get through the fire quicker than before.
Excellent. I think that's all I do. I don't think I have anything else left. And I just drag as far away as I can.
So she used 10 feet to jump to the bed. So the feline would double and then half. Is that what it was?
Yeah. So it could get you like out to about here-ish? Or is it half so it gets you to the edge?
Probably to the edge.
Okay. Then I move you correctly. Perfect. Orlina, you were dragging an unconscious woman with you,
Yep.
and Red popped out with a potted plant.
I'm just gonna keep dragging the woman, and I will make mentions with the pot later.
Perfect.
Just
Since you have managed to move in for the sake of time,
yeah.
you do manage to move her forward each time.
Yeah.
Until she is safely out.
Everything other than like my key points or whatever to move, like my action and bonus action to get her moved out for as quickly as possible, kind of thing.
Perfect. So that makes you move your full 40 feet then if you do double?
Yeah, I think so. And so what I got? 15. So yeah, she'd be out. I can't grab right. I gotta get this.
Next round you'd get her out.
We'll be like right here at this round, so.
Yeah.
So yeah.
There we go. Perfect. So she is with you. Mihara and Red. So Mihara, you are right at the doorway. You heard the warning bells in the distance. How far out do you want to take her?
So I guess when I burst onto the street, what exactly do I see? I mean, I hear the bells and everything like that, but I guess, how wide is the street?
They're wide enough to have a single cart go down it.
Okay.
And you can see this cluster of buildings. As you look down, you don't see very many, but you do see a couple of like heads pop out here or there. You don't see a lot of people. You don't see anyone walking down the streets. It's a pretty clear day outside. But since the flames haven't like gone out a window, they can't see anything, so no one's
I
rushing.
will drag her across the street to the far side if I can.
Perfect.
Good and out of the way of any smoke.
Without trouble, you can bring her right to the front stoop of the house adjacent.
Okay. Is that going to take all of my like action and movement to do that, or do I still have something else I can do?
It would be about probably 15 feet wide-ish, 10, 15 feet. So it would take you 15 to get there, so you still have 25.
Gotcha. I would like to quickly check her over and see in how good of health she is currently, if I could.
You can see she is not doing great. She has not fallen unconscious. She is still there, but it seems like she's barely coherent.
Okay.
She's pretty rough.
All right. I stay with her, but I look back at the house every second. Not really paying attention to her, but making sure everyone else is on their way out.
You stay there, give her some support. And you will be able to direct anyone should they come with help. Now, Red, you are holding a potted plant.
I am holding a potted plant. So I'm gonna look down towards the hallways. Do I see that Fertile has come out yet?
You do not.
Okay, so I'm gonna look at the potted plant. Alright, buddy, I just need you to stay here for a moment. I promise I'll be right back, and I'm gonna set him down on the ground, and I'm gonna head off back down towards where the door that I knew she was in. So 30 will get me there. So I can get all the way up to... that's saying 50. I can get right... I'm gonna get right up to the door, basically.
Yeah, you can get right up in her face.
Oops. I'm not gonna go in there, but I'm just gonna like stay on the outside of it and just look inside. Come on, Fertile, we gotta go. Oh no, silence. Oh no,
she's AFK.
I know, but just, you know.
But yeah.
Oh no. But yeah, that'll be it from me.
Perfect. So that brings us to Orlina and Fertile. And Orlina, you are going towards the door.
Yes, I am trying to leave. Dragging her out as best as my ability. I get... Well, I mean, I don't have a negative for strength, but it's not very high.
You could get right to the door.
All right. We'll get her right to the door.
You get right to the door. You can see very clearly, straight across the street, Mihara is in front of the house across with the other lady kind of collapsed on the ground.
Okay.
You can also now hear the warning bells going off.
I'm positive. That's all I got for mine.
Yeah. Hey, you're getting them out. You're doing...
Yep. We're doing the stuff.
You're doing the stuff. Saving the people. For the greater good. And I believe Fertile is still away for a second.
It seems that way, yes.
Perfect. Okay.
So I hear the bells and everything outside and the alarms being raised, if you will. Do I see any I know it's been very small amounts of time, technically. Do we see any like wagon or anything else heading towards this area currently?
At the moment, you don't see a wagon coming towards you.
Okay.
They wouldn't have quite made it to where you could see them. But because the doorway was open and you guys have let out a lot of smoke, people are starting to come out of their houses now and seeing that it's on fire are starting to be murmuring to each other, and you can see people run off in different directions. You don't know if it's to just flee the area or find help or whatever it is, but...
Sure. Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I think what we're gonna do is we'll go back to Red and Mihara for now, and we'll either let Fertile do a double turn or...
I'm back.
Oh, well, that's even better. So I don't have to worry. You are holding a limp husband of some sort.
A husband of some sort.
Yes. I am a master of descriptions. Whoa.
I'm gonna drag him the rest of the way out.
Sounds good. You are able to do so.
I think I can get him here. That's as far as I can. That's half my movement speed.
Perfect.
And I'll just look at Red and say, Red, can you help him?
He's gone, bro.
So as you say that, is there anything else you would like to do? I don't know if you have a bonus action that really can apply to a situation like this. Other than more movement.
Yeah, I'll probably just... So Red's not standing in the doorway there anymore? Is that what I gathered?
He had made it right up to the doorway, I thought.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you ran past him, said that to him, and then you can continue.
Yeah, I'll keep moving. 20 feet. The dude.
Wait.
Gee, I can't do anything for him when you're dragging him away.
Well,
Follow. Don't stay by the fire.
that was the implication. Oh, I'm done with baby right now.
So that would bring us back to Red and Mihara. Red,
Yep, I'm gonna run up to this person. When she's kind of stopped, like, put him down for a moment, and I'm going to put my ear on his chest. Do I hear anything?
Oh.
You do not.
2 seconds.
Shit. This might be a moot point, but he's still gonna try it anyway. He's gonna place his hand on the chest and cast Cure Wounds.
So as you do that, and you press down, you can feel a very slight movement. Roll to heal him a little bit.
Working on it.
Did you just say roll to feel him?
Yeah,
Heal.
yes.
Heal.
Yes.
Heal.
We have turned this campaign. It's very sudden.
4 points of HPs.
As you do that, that 4 little points managed to get him to take a very staggered breath and then cough a whole lot, and a very staggered breath and cough a whole lot. But he is alive.
Red, you're amazing, and I'll like embrace him, and then I'll do other stuff on my turn.
Suppose we could just go. Just go brevity's sake. They're waiting for us, and we're gonna catch up back with them.
Yeah, drag him.
Yeah. So you guys have.
Before I pick up the potted plant.
Okay. Good to know. The plant is saved. So as you guys manage to get out, or at the end of this round, right as it hits this and goes to Mihara, you can see that a wagon pulls around a corner down your lane, down past the Silverfish Inn a little ways, and it is coming towards you.
Perfect.
I
will wait for it to get closer.
Sounds good. It's going to take roughly the same amount of time for them to get out as it will for the cart to actually get to you guys. So
I just drag my person over to the one with Mihara there, and then probably gasp for, with the fresh air and stuff, and probably just be kind of on all fours on the ground trying to breathe.
So, as you are with a conscious woman and an unconscious woman outside, you can see the cart coming. They're coming out with a very hurt, as previously described, husband of some sort. And you look over towards the older woman, and she appears to be at least stabilized for now.
I thought we were gonna lose that one.
Right.
That's why I left her. Or why I left.
I thought so too. No worries. As I was rolling, I was like, this is going to be interesting.
Yeah.
But you all managed to get out. They do come in. It does take a little bit of time, but they do put out the flames, as well as the neighborhood apothecary, Miss May, comes over, and she is checking over everybody, giving what healing she can. She gives a healing potion to each of them, give them a little bit of boost. And asks for, and another cart comes, and she asks them to take them back and take them to the local hospital area they have set up.
Keep an eye on this one. He was in the smoke for quite a while.
Yeah, and the daughter is there as well. They gladly gave her a ride. They didn't want to, leave her behind. But one of the local lawmen stayed with her the whole time, went with her when they took both of her parents and the friend away, so that there was a chaperone there as well. So there's no need to worry about her. She's good.
She's the real hero of the day.
She knew what to do. So as you guys are sitting outside, and May is fussing over everybody, the flames are going out. What would you like to do?
Are either of the women still with us that were pulled from the barn, or from whatever building that was?
Yes.
Or were they taken off?
Oh yeah, no, they were with you guys and they were taken.
Okay, so it's just the four of us that were in that building. Just us are left because they took the rest. The others.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So Miss May just finished fussing up over them, getting all her stuff kind of cleaned up, and then right before she turns to you guys to check on the next one's coroner care, but she took care of the triage first and then is going to move on. But she's cleaning up everything because there's obviously some wounds that she tended. As she's cleaning up, it kind of gives you guys a little bit of a moment to gather yourselves.
Red is just gonna sit down in the middle of the street and just kind of slump, and that one was exhausting. That took a lot out of me. And his face is still just a soot-covered mess. But now there's new lines where his nostrils were from the new smoke inhalation.
I was thinking. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Red.
He also would have given the potted plant to the young girl and said, "You take care of him now."
No, she hugs it. I will. I will. Roll a nature check since you had a little bit of time with the potted plant now, out of stress.
Nature, you say? 8. I'm stressed, man.
You were pretty darn stressed. It was green.
It was green.
Accidentally ripped off one of its leaves, so it refuses to talk to me.
Oh gosh, that's what it is.
But yeah, he's just kind of sitting there, slumped, exhausted. Mihar, can you carry me like you carried that woman? I'm exhausted.
I'll need a bit, but maybe.
You okay, by the way? Did the smoke get you, or?
No, it wasn't the smoke. I just need a moment, and it'll be okay.
You can come join me down here. The ground is nice and cool.
That sounds like a very, very positive thing. I'll go join Red.
And you lay on the cool road. That's not so cool because it's in the sun, but you know.
It's colder than in there.
It's colder than the fire. That is the truth. It's colder than the fire.
Return him his wet blanket. Thank you.
Oh, to be clear, all 3 of them were taken to like some hospital-esque, ye old hospital, if you will, and
yes,
we're just hanging out in the roadway,
catching our breaths and.
Yeah, so you guys had a little bit of time to kind of catch your breath as she was talking to everyone. She's kind of cleaning up. And as soon as you guys are done discussing, she will turn to you guys and offer her healing services as well.
So this is just a random thought, but I don't think I ever changed out of my dancing stuff, so I probably have like smeared makeup down my face.
Yeah.
I don't have my face mask. It's just makeup. Like thick stage makeup just smeared down her face.
The pair we make are
lunch. Took your lunch break and went to help with the fire.
Yep. So I
very quickly.
I probably look like a mess for sure, along with everybody else. I'm just saying that there's stage makeup underneath of all that soot now that I've probably smeared multiple times with my sleeves just to get stuff out of my eyes.
Oh, your face is probably pure black at this point, clinging to the makeup.
Yep.
real sinking in there.
I don't.
Ugh.
Did that little girl go with them?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
I will, if everyone's sitting on the ground, I'll kneel down next to everyone and kind of in a hushed voice, because I don't know if you heard me or not last time, but that door that Orlean and I first got to and pulled the women out was locked
Yep, that was.
from the outside. I don't think this was an accident.
Another thing was that explosion in the house that knocked me off my feet. I'm gonna be honest, wasn't expecting that one.
There was an explosion?
You didn't hear it?
There was a lot going on.
I think we need to talk with these people, or maybe the authorities.
There's definitely something going on, because especially with that door being locked.
I think it would be a very good idea to do that.
Well, not to be the druid in the mud, but weren't we supposed to? Do we have time? I mean, we're supposed to be escorting Ariel and Damien and all them. Do we have time to look into this, or do we just pass it along?
That's a good question. Kind of, once we get them back, we get them back. Ours.
We really never had a time constraint, so...
No.
Maybe we run it by him first before we commit to this?
That'd be an idea.
And Damien
I mean, it might be a
able
good
to-
idea to still speak to authorities.
We're dealing with someone who attempted murder. I think the rest of them can wait.
Well put. Well, that settles it. I would like some healing.
So she wraps
I'm
up
a little
and
singed.
she turns around to you and she pulls out. She has this nice little sash going on of a bunch of common healing potions, and she just goes around to each one of you, kind of does a once over. And so you look like you have been injured. She hands you one of the bottles. So I believe that is just fertile and red.
Yeah, I'll take one of those too. I mean, normally I wouldn't impose, but I mean, fire kind of stings.
Oh, no, dear, it's fine. Don't worry about it.
Thank you.
My name's Martha. I have been trying to help this town out for years. I do what I can, and I know how to make all of these little lovely fellows.
I would like to very shakily place my hand onto Red's forearm, trying to grip it a little tight. You might not have known what you did, but thank you. And then withdraw my hand.
No problem, Mahara.
So,
I'm gonna pocket my healing potion and not take it right away.
that sounds good. She doesn't judge you. She has seen a lot come through this town, so she just kind of accepts it for what it is. She goes, so, you got everyone out. There was only 3 in there, correct?
That's all we found.
That's what the woman told us,
That's
right?
all we know.
That's all we're aware of, yes.
I mean, we barely got the 3 out as it was. I hope there wasn't more, but...
I don't like going in and seeing these things, but Sheriff Sampson did go in. He was putting out the flames with everybody else. If you want to go in and make sure everything's all right, otherwise I think he can take care of the flames in there.
At the
Is
very
he the
least,
only one left in the building?
I was asking you guys. I won't go in. I'm not very good in these situations. I like staying out here. I tend to get sick.
Understandable. I was definitely not asking you to go in. I was just asking if he was alone. Nobody should be alone in a building like that.
No. He went in with the other gentlemen that were around. There were about 5 of them total. And you would know this is correct because there were 6, but one of them went with the little girl.
I think we should look at the room that was locked as well as the explosion and see if we can't learn anything.
I think that would definitely be a good idea. Obviously, once the fire is out.
What time is it right now?
About 2 in the afternoon. So you had just finished lunch, kind of little late, wrapped up, and this happened very quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But you were efficient, and you managed to get everyone out very quickly. There were death saving throws being made, but they survived. But you go back in to find that the flames have been subdued for the most part. There are still some smoldering areas that haven't been fully doused in water. But you can see the sheriff standing by the cart, very obvious in the fact that he is definitely dressed for the part. And he has a rag that he had dipped in the water and is kind of wiping his face. It's like, oh, you're the ones who saved the family.
Yes.
You did a good job. Most people wouldn't have bothered to intervene.
Well, that doesn't sound very neighborly.
Everyone's just trying to survive, ma'am.
But,
Hard to ignore when a screaming child asks for help.
but a fire threatens everybody, not just one place. That's why I'm curious about that.
Did you learn anything when you were in there?
Haven't looked very closely yet. They had just started putting everything out completely. I was about to make my way in, clearing my eyes as he wipes his face again, making sure he has nothing dripping in his face so he can see.
Do you mind if we take a look around? See if we could figure out the cause?
Feel free to join me. Did you know the family?
Can't say we did.
No, there was some bits that kind of, if after you think about it, when you have a time to think after you take everybody out, that just seemed a little odd. And it's just gonna, niggle at the back of your head until we could actually know a little bit about it.
I see. Even the folks around here don't really care much for their neighbors. They're more focused on making sure they survive. It's a nice change seeing someone who cares. And he kind of turns and walks straight back towards the, right back in between the 2 rooms.
Can I borrow that bucket?
How genuine does he sound here? Does he seem kind of as aloof as he kind of seems about this situation, or?
Roll an insight check.
Can I ask him, did you know anything about the family? Occupation? History?
So he seemed to be pretty genuine to Mihara, I will get to you in a second, Myrtle. He seemed pretty genuine in the sense that he was genuinely shocked that someone would care about someone in this town.
Okay.
Yeah, he seemed very weirded out. He's like, I don't usually see the neighbors caring, so it's really, really weird to see an outsider care so much.
Sure. Okay, thank you.
And then Fertile Roses, he says, yeah, I knew the family in the sense of they traded. They would travel to the west and come back with herbs, sometimes fresh flowers to sell, but they were never merchants of any sort. They were just kind of wandering tradesmen who had a home base. Nice people, generally. Made a few friends here or there.
How about any enemies?
Roll a persuasion check, because you are talking to the sheriff. I can't think of any enemies specifically that come to mind. I mean, everyone has their general grievance if there's a competition for some sort of trade, but they were never consistent enough to ever have competition. And as he heads back, he kind of turns back to you guys and says, which one would you like to check out first?
I'd probably check out the bedroom. I mean, that's where the explosion was.
Yeah, I was thinking the locked door.
There as well.
But
Like
I mean, I was kind of with the locked door too, but that's just me.
So we split the party again.
Yeah, we can.
Fine, they go to the locked door.
I mean, why not? I mean, because I don't think it really matters. Does it? Do you think it matters?
Whatever you guys choose to do,
know.
yeah. If you want to split, it's up to you guys.
We're really not that far away from each other.
For the sake of ease, I'll follow the ladies over to the locker.
Defeated. Follow along.
Yeah, he sees most people turn towards the locked door, so he goes towards that door. He does glance back a few times just to see if Red is still heading towards the other door, and relaxes a little bit once he turns and heads towards the locked door. Move him out of here. And move everybody forward.
Apologies. Did we get your name?
Probably didn't introduce myself. I'm Sheriff Sampson. Sorry, I was moving somebody. He holds out his hand to you to shake your hand. He is roughly 6'4". He looks like he has definitely worked out in the training yard and does know his sword skills quite well.
Okay, yeah, I'd gladly take his hand.
Shakes it, firm grip, turns back to the door and pulls it open. What you see before you is what look to be a series of shelves along the back wall, as well as a large wooden desk, all of which have been burned to a crisp. There has been a lot of collapsing happening, as well as you notice by the door over on this side, a beam had cracked and fell into the doorway.
Can I quick run to that, or can I? Yeah. Yeah, I'll just run to the outside like real quick and see if that door is also locked from the outside.
So you run over to that door. When you reach for the handle, roll a perception check. Actually, an investigation. Are you just grabbing the door handle and turning it, or are you kind of like seeing?
I don't know. How did I know it was locked from the outside the first time, I guess?
Because it was a bar lock, so you could see it was in the metal grooves.
Okay.
So this one has a door handle. So my question, I thought you were bending down and looking, so that would have been an investigation.
No, I'm
but
gonna try it and see if it's...
So you grab the handle and it does not turn.
Okay. I'll run back around quick. And I'll just whisper to Orlina, the other door is locked as well. I don't know if we should tell him or not.
I don't.
The sheriff has moved into the building, so he's kind of slowly looking through to see if there's anything that he can see without disturbing anything.
I mean, that's... Why lock two women into a room?
Right. He wasn't really forthcoming about enemies.
But there might not be any that he knows of, though, either.
He could be in denial about crime in his town. Person. He might not want to acknowledge it.
Same time, it kind of seems like he knows, because nobody really seems like they care about anybody.
Right. That's odd. That's very odd to me.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to move over to that door and see if that's locked or where that leads to, I guess.
So it is not locked. You are able to push the door inwards. Would you like to step inside?
Yeah, I would.
So you step inside and you find a small little storage room, a small table where someone appears to have been cataloging something, as well as a few crates, jars, baskets of random storage things throughout this room.
Okay. I guess I would like to look through the book or the papers that are on there that are cataloging. Does anything look interesting, I guess?
Roll an investigation as you flip through the pages.
My favorite feature of this program, just saying.
So you flip through the pages and you're just kind of looking. It's a lot of boring stuff. There's some herbs, like they said, some flowers, like they said, some animal pelts, some random knickknacks here and there. You turn and you get about 2/3 of the way through the book, and as you're turning the pages, you recognize that feeling of there's a page missing here. There's a space in the binding. Something was missing. So a whole page has been removed.
What seems to be on like either side of this, or is it just kind of a random assortment of, like you said, herbs and whatever else? It doesn't seem to be maybe a pattern to it, or is it just kind of should it seem like
really...
something you said something's missing, but should it look like a certain type of item or whatever should be on that page?
Roll an intelligence check.
Okay.
So when you go through, you can't really notice a pattern. It doesn't seem like they really stuck to something for too long. They always changed it up. You assume it would go somewhere with random stuff on it. It might have had something important, but you are unsure of
That was about
possibly
2/3 of the way into the book, you said?
Correct, about 2/3 of the way into the book.
Okay.
Shortly after you've gone through that with your investigation, it only has a few more pages of things written on it before it's blank after that.
Were there any dates on this, or was it just an inventory kind of thing?
Yeah, there were dates going through it as well. So every time they collected something, they write the date that they collected it. Every date that they sold something, they'd write the date that they sold it. You can see that the page before the missing page looks to be about a month ago. The page after looks to be about 2 weeks ago. So they don't have a ton of flow of stuff, but
Okay, thank you.
So that other door that was locked, did we see where that door locks?
She felt the doorknob and it didn't move, so the locking mechanism with inside
it
is weird. Yeah.
And that door is where again? Right here?
Yep.
Okay.
Right there.
So the lock's on this side.
No, the lock is that you can see right now is on the outside.
Okay, so
did you look on the inside?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on to the inside of that one and check that other door out.
So because Fertile went to the outside of it.
Yeah, I'll go to the inside of it.
You go to the inside, roll an investigation there. Add Fertile Roses as well, since she more or less assisted you, telling you it's locked from the outside.
Okay.
Trying to decide that her advantage, and I don't know which one to do.
What number do you need?
Your investigation.
Investigation. I got 2 + 2.
Let's see if this works. I'm gonna do it this way.
Yeah, you notice that there is a keyhole on the inside as well.
So it only locked with a key?
So you knew it was locked from the outside, you kind of looked at the doorknob, you felt it, yeah, it's locked. It appears there is a keyhole on either side, because there is one in here as well.
Alright. I'm gonna guess neither of those women had a key, or else they would have gotten out.
If you are trying to say something, you're muted.
I'm not muted, I was just really quiet.
I don't think so.
That's my bad.
Well, no, you're fine. Tyr is muted.
I'm not muted. Can you not hear me? Oh, the wrong kind of mute. Okay.
Welcome back.
I hit the plus button to add in a thing, and I forgot that does that with... Oh, because I'm like, I'm not muted. I can see my bar moving. Okay, so... I don't know what I've all said now.
Nothing. We heard nothing.
I know.
Right.
I should remember what I said, though. So it's... It's... I only see the keyhole, so someone could have easily done that from the outside as well.
I'm suspecting they were locked in.
Well, yeah, I don't... I don't know any other way that they would be in there, because if they had the key to get out, they would have unlocked this door.
Maybe this isn't part of their home. They don't have a key.
Oh, it could be.
As you guys are discussing this, roll an insight check as you're kind of bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other.
Insight. 15 for me.
5.
So, Fertile Roses, you're really into the bouncing ideas back and forth, so you're not really like absorbing too much of it. But Oralina, you are starting to hear what's being said a little bit, and you're like, it's weird that in someone's own compound kind of house area that they wouldn't have the key on them to this particular room.
Right.
You did not ask the women if they had it or looked through their pockets or anything, so you don't know exactly what it was. But something is feeling a little off, that the people who live here didn't have a key to get in and out if they already were in the room.
Was it taken from them, or did we actually just help people who might have been trying to get in here?
As this is all happening, you notice that the sheriff has started moving the rubble around a little bit, taking anything that isn't burned, so nothing that's wood, paper, anything metal, glass that might be salvageable or might give clues to what happened. And it's kind of trying to start to pull them aside, make a collection of them, looking over each one before he sets it down, writing something down in a little notebook, and doing his job, trying his best.
I figured I'd be looking through this catalog ledger kind of thing for a bit to determine this. So
if you do take your time with it,
I just figured I already had been. So
yeah. So if you stayed in there and started reading it, by this point you would understand a little bit how they functioned. In a sense, yes, it was sporadic, but there were certain patterns. Like, pelts only showed up at certain points of the year, usually in the winter months, whereas they obviously only gathered flour during spring and summer months. So it kind of, you notice certain patterns throughout the seasons of what they were collecting. There are a few things that would stand out as not normal things, in the sense of, like, maybe there's a ring cataloged and there's a sword somewhere in there randomly, a crossbow, but they're not like labeled magical crossbow or anything. It just says crossbow acquired this date. Doesn't tell you how, but those kind of items appear randomly throughout, both summer, winter.
Definitely different than the rest of their inventory.
Yeah, so this is like once every other page that you're seeing this. You're not seeing it as frequently as what they would normally trade. Any grains that they collected, fresh vegetables, fruits that they foraged, preserved meats are frequent on there.
Okay.
But that's the only thing you've really gleaned from it. The month that's missing as you're going through this, you notice the pattern is within this last month. You would see also that the beginning of the month would be their take-in point, and the last 2 weeks would be the selling point. So they kind of go in rounds of 1 month at a time, of collecting half the month, selling half the month.
Gotcha.
So Red, been pretty quiet outside the previously burning building.
Yep, I'm gonna go back up to that cart and just kind of grab that blanket that I used earlier that's now torn to shreds, dip it in the water, and just start cleaning my face off from all the soot and vomit residue. Question, is there actually a horse up over in this corner?
Yes. We'll
Okay,
make the horse panic.
After I walk up to the cart, I'm gonna go walk up over to that horse and just, hey there, how's it going? And, just get in with it and everything, but then as I, kind of maintain it, calm it down, give it some food and all that, I'm gonna walk around to the front of it and with my hand on the side of its neck, just stare it dead in the eyes.
It stares
For a minute or two.
Lashes.
It lasts for like a minute or two, and I'm just there, and then, good boy, and I'm just gonna pat it, and then walk back out into the courtyard. You guys done yet? Did you find anything?
Samson,
Not yet.
well, go ahead.
No, not yet. We're still looking.
Yeah, Samson yells out from in there. He's like, I've only made it part way through this room. More to go.
Yeah, there's...
Okay, well, let me know what you guys find. I'm gonna walk back. Yeah, I'm gonna go into that other go back into their kitchen.
So you go back into their kitchen.
Yep, I'm just gonna kind of look around in the kitchen. Is there any food set out or anything to prepare anything?
There is still stuff set out. It looked like they were just cleaning up from lunch and everything. But you can see where they would have kept the food. It's pretty open in the kitchen area.
I'll walk back into this room. Are there any potted plants in this room? Anything I missed on my first way through now that the smoke is died out?
No potted plants, but as you get into this room, you do see there are two gentlemen still smothering a little bit of the flames over in the bedroom area.
Find anything interesting?
One of them looks up, leans back and says, it's pretty burned. There's splinters of wood. Looks like an explosion.
Any idea what might have caused it? An explosion like that?
Looks back at you. Wait for the sheriff. Moves forward again.
Cops. Okay, well, thanks. And I'll just walk back out into the courtyard and wait for everyone.
So Samson is pulling all these stuff out. You notice there are some glass jars. There is a rough iron knife as well as a stone mortar and pestle that have been pulled from this area. as he kind of wraps up. He's like, yeah, well, if you guys want to do a look through, looks like this area may have caught on fire when they moved in here. I don't see any trigger points. I'm gonna go into the other room.
I don't know if I have anything else left in here that I want to look at. I do kind of want to see the other room. Because I know there was more fire than just this room.
Yeah, I do kind of want to look and see if I can figure anything about that explosion.
You said there was that, plus... Is there a trail from that other room where the fire was that made here, or is it two different fire points?
Guess we could look outside and see.
So yeah,
If it was a crossover, or if it was just...
Yeah, if you two both want to go out and do an investigation check, you can choose who rolls, and then just add the other one's bonus. If anyone else would like to help as well, they can.
I guess I have a +1, and I'm not proficient in investigation. I don't know if you are.
I have a +2.
Do you want to roll, or do you want me to roll?
I'll roll.
Okay.
I think you rolled the other one.
Yeah,
right?
I did.
+1, you said?
Yes. You know, I'm looking at this. I rolled the wrong thing for my insight. I rolled investigation versus insight.
Oh. Yes, I didn't catch it either.
I mean, the only difference is I was supposed to add 2 more to it, but that's okay. No, 3 more.
You still were successful, so...
I was still successful. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the right one.
So as you are looking around outside, you don't notice any burned pathway, to say the least. You don't notice any of the grass being singed. The walls on the outside of the building don't appear to have caught on fire. It seems pretty localized to the 2 rooms. So it doesn't appear that the fire traveled from one place to the other. It looks very much like 2 separate fires were started.
All right. That is good information.
It was a good roll.
Do we know how these people were related to each other? Were they a family?
So what you gleaned from the little girl, is that it was her mom and her dad, and then her mom's friend.
That works with them.
Yeah, the mom's friend was over. The little girl didn't really know much. She just knew her as her mom's friend. But otherwise, you would assume that the 30-year-old was with the husband, who looked to be about the same age, and then the friend must have been the 60-year-old.
Okay.
Out of curiosity, what half of the month are we on?
So we are at the very end of the last half of the month, so right at the end of the selling phase.
Gotcha.
They would be leaving within the next few days to go on their next gathering phase.
Hey, Sheriff, did you know these 2 people very much? This might have been asked of the sheriff, I'm not sure. Sorry.
Didn't know them well. They sold some very interesting item once in a while, but always kept to themselves. They were very content. Made an honest living. Never made trouble, so if you don't make trouble, I don't know you nearly as well.
That's fair. But are you talking about the couple, or are you talking about the other lady as well?
The other lady. What
There
other
was
lady?
Wasn't there an older, wrinkly-looking lady that was
Oh.
all hanging up with Mihara?
Yeah. She's an interesting one. Think she's lost her marbles. She's came in asking to be locked up once. I don't understand this woman.
What for?
Sorry. She's one of the weird ones.
Define weird ones.
Well, she has a thing where she talks to herself a lot.
Oh.
And I've never had someone walk into the jail before and ask to be locked up.
Did she give you a reason that she wanted to be locked up?
No, she didn't seem mad that I refused her either, just walked out.
Has she lived here long?
About a month. She came in about a week before they came back with all their wares. Roll a persuasion.
Sorry, I was just making notes.
He was very, very open with just trying to forget that this lady existed, very openly.
Persuasion, not my best. 11.
So as you're kind of talking to him, he kind of just looks at you after you ask that first kind of line of questions. He's like, "We're not going to talk about anything important, more important than a crazy woman. I need to go investigate the explosion that happened. My men were cleaning it up in there." So he turns around, nods, and walks off to the room. Mihara, you are still by yourself.
Correct.
Is there anything you would like to do while they're all distracted outside?
Yeah, I guess I would like to look and kind of use the last few pages of that ledger to kind of match up the current inventory, or try to find where they would store their inventory and see if there's anything that maybe still is there, or it's something that might have been rifled through or removed. Maybe as somebody came in and stole something, kind of thing.
Roll an investigation check at advantage, because you do have something written. You know what's not there. You know what they sold. So you're kind of seeing what's still there, if it possibly was from recently being gathered. So you go through this room, you open a couple of things, a few pounds of salt, a kind of jar of dried herbs. You notice some fresher meat that has been there, so you assume that would probably be from one of the recent, the missing page. As you're kind of going through this, and if you move a few of the things out of the way, you notice that behind there is a longer box, and if you open it up, it's got a sword in it from the one documented the last month previous. But other than that, the only thing you can glean from what would be left behind is probably the meat. It's a little fresher. There's some fresh fruit that's still sitting around. But nothing like jewelry or diamonds or anything that they have.
Missing one hand of Vecna.
I guess seeing that it's the sword that kind of matches with their ledger on that, can I examine that further? Specifically, like unbox it and see if there's anything interesting with that, if it seems peculiar in any way, or it's just a sword.
Roll a history check.
Taking advantage of all these blind rolls.
Hey, I like it because it's exciting. Anyway, so you look at this sword. It looks old. This does not look like someone forged it recently, not within the last 10 years, not within the last 50 years. This is pretty old work. It looks like the blade has been used in a few places. There are some like scratches on the blade itself. You can't really tell like if it's from a certain region or anything, but this looks like it has value.
Okay. Interesting. Okay.
Perfect. So we are kind of at a point where everyone's still investigating. Would we like to keep going through the evening, or are we kind of veering towards the end? This would be a good stopping point, which is why I'm asking.
I know Mr. Magda has a little bit of a stricter limit there. I'm good if this is a good stopping spot, and we can pick up next time too.
Yeah, unfortunately, work is unavoidable. But this year too, I do plan on taking some more time off, and they'll probably fall more on Mondays, just so that if we do Sundays D&Ds, I'll be able to do longer sessions here and there.
Okay, cool.
Oh, you mean you guys aren't against that? I'm shocked.
No, not at all.
Oh, I know. But that is a good stopping point for us then. You have managed to save the entire family from the fire, which is fabulous.
Yeah.
The flames have been extinguished. You found out that the doors were locked somehow, and no idea where a key is. We will come back next time to investigate further as to why the fire started.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Night.